All right, y'all, we are back with another video. I definitely had to bring y'all this. Seems like Hakeem Jefferies just made a big mistake. This man, not only that, is facing removal from Congress after what he just pulled, because now it seems like these Democrats feel like that they can get away with everything. That's why you see the AOCs, the Jasmine Crockett. You see all of these Democrats saying all of this stuff about what they're going to do because they feel like nothing is going to happen to them. That's the reason why I've been saying for the longest that I want Pam Bundy, them to go after them, put them in jail, show them that you ain't playing around. So we get to this point where Hakeem Jefferies pretty much threatening to unmask ICE agents, pretty much trying to put them in danger. So these are the ICE agents that's one that's getting these illegal aliens out of this country. And now the Democrats are so mad, but then on the other point, they always say, we care about the American people. How do y'all care about the American people if y'all mad at President Trump for deporting illegal aliens? So y'all care about illegal aliens and American people. Like, give me a break. We ain't falling for none of this crap. So I got a few clips I want to show y'all. And I got this video we're going to check out by Matt Morse TV. Make sure y'all go subscribe to his channel. But it's a few things that I want to show y'all. But like I said, it's getting out of hand now that Hakeem Jefferies getting on the podium, pretty much talking about he going to unmask all the ICE agents and reveal their identity so the illegal aliens that know who they is to go harm them. Like, no, this man needs to be arrested. And that's the reason why people right now is calling for him to be removed for Congress. It's just going all the way through the internet. So like I said, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Shout out to everybody showing so much support, and shout out to the ones who always stay to the very end and let me know in the comment section that you did watch the entire video. I appreciate all of you for doing that, because it definitely helps get the video out there. And the ones that come straight in and hit that like button is very, very important. The more likes we get, it definitely helps pushes the video out as well, so more people can see me expose them. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive straight into it. So as y'all can see on screen right here, we're going to check out a few things on this article. It said, watch, Hakeem Jefferies threatens to unmask ICE agents. Every single one will be identified. So this is what he's saying. So let's go on down and read a little bit of this. It said, House Minority Leader Hakeem Jefferies seemingly threatening to unmask immigration and custom enforcement ICE agents, many of whom work undercover operations, saying Democrats will expose their identities no matter what it takes. So a lot of these ICE agents works undercover, don't want nobody to know who they is, and he is threatening to expose their identity. Like, Hakeem Jefferies needs to go to jail for this. So we get down here. It say, during a press conference this week, Jeffrey claimed that Democrats would seek out the identities of ICE agents who work to enforce federal immigration law by locating, arresting, and deporting illegal aliens, often violent convicted criminals. Every single ICE agent who is enraged in this aggressive overreach and are trying to hide their identities from the American people will be unsuccessful in doing that, Jeffrey said. So this is what he's threatening right now. So it's go on to down right in here and say, hold on, let me go back down. It say Jeffrey comments and other inflammatory remarks by Democrats come as ICE agents have faced a massive spike in assaults in the hands of illegal aliens that are tasked with arresting. Then it said last month, the Department of Homeland Security, DHS, revealed that ICE agents have suffered a 413% increase in assaults in recent months. Meanwhile, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz recently referred to ICE agents as Trump's modern Gestapo, a reference to secret police deployed by Adolf Hitler, National Socialist regime in Nazi Germany. So this is what Hakeem Jefferies is doing right now. Pretty much trying to stop these people from doing their job, getting these illegal aliens out of here. Now he's threatening to reveal their identity because they're getting illegal aliens out of here. Like, this is insane. So check this out right here on the screen as well. So if you look at this, it say Hakeem Jefferies just threatened every ICE agent, every single one of them, no matter what it takes, no matter how long it takes, will of course be identified. Threatening. So this is what he's doing. Threatening federal officers is a federal crime. Arrest Hakeem Jefferies. That's what Paul sent to Pam Bundy. That's the reason why I say Pam Bundy them got to do something about this. You can't keep letting this guy get away with this crap, because now at this point, Hakeem Jefferies feel like he can just do and say whatever he wants. So, and then if you check out this post right here, it say this guy Old School said Hakeem Jefferies is endangering law enforcement officials who are performing their lawful job by protecting the American people. ICE risk their lives every day to remove criminal, illegal immigrants that Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and Hakeem allowed to invade this country. He should be investigated and prosecuted for trying to expose and jeopardize the safety of our law officials and their families. So like I said, people are not holding back on this. Even Charlie Kirk, kind of, checked in on this. And this is what he said. Hakeem Jefferies say people would die if the big, beautiful bill passes. Chuck Schumer calls it the We're All Going to Die Act. So the big, beautiful bill, the Democrats want to call it We're All Going to Die Act. No. Look what Joe Biden and Kamala Harris did by leaving that border wide open. And look what happened to a lot of the American people, especially like some of the young ladies and stuff like that. I don't even have to say their name. Y'all already know who I'm talking about. So, and these people talking about if the big, beautiful bill passes, people will die? What? And this is how Charlie Kirk came back at all of this. Check this out. Charlie Kirk said, no, people die when you allow millions of people to invade our country and smuggle fentanyl into our towns and cities. Then he go on to say people die when you allow looting and rioting while demonizing police. People die when you fund stupid wars. People die when you lock them in their homes for months on end and force them to take experimental shots. People die when you hollow out the industrial base and replace it with nothing but fast food joints and liquor stores. Then Charlie Kirk goes on to say, right in here, people die when you call conservatives Nazis every other day and demonize half the country. People die when you push DEI in medical schools, the military, and core service people rely upon. People die when you indulge every stupid social experiment invented in a university and turn it into policy. People die when the country is run by autopen and the president flex and media lex cover it up. Facts. The contempt I have for the Democrat Party buffoonish leadership is immense. So check out what these clowns right here said.
People will die if the GOP tax scam ever becomes law.
And we all know one thing. Donald Trump is just lying about the bill. Lying about the bill. Well, here's the We Are All Going to Die Act.
So Donald Trump is lying about the bills, but these the same people right here who lied about Joe Biden's mental decline. And they knew he had cancer. They knew something was wrong with this man, and they covered it up. But they, like, how you got the galls to even say somebody else is a liar when y'all been lying for years and y'all still lying today? So Hakeem Jefferies did an interview right here. Look at this. Hakeem Jefferies confronted with brutal Democrat polling numbers by CBS. That's not exactly a ringing endorsement of the Democratic leadership, which includes you. So how do you respond to that? And pretty much the Democrat way, they like to blame Donald Trump for everything. Check out Hakeem Jefferies, a.k.a. the clown.
Politics of the moment, Leader Jefferies. When it comes to Democratic Party voters, they are frustrated. They want you all to have backbone. They want you to have a spine. CBS News polling shows 66% of them are frustrated by the way their party has handled the administration thus far. 50+% say it makes them feel nervous. 86% say their party should be doing more to oppose the president. That's not exactly a ringing endorsement of the Democratic leadership, which includes you. So how do you respond to all of that?
Well, one, people in this country are understandably frustrated because this is all unprecedented. This daily outrage, the flooding the zone, the parade of horribles that Donald Trump and his minions and...
You see what I'm talking about? Everything is President Trump's fault. Like, Donald Trump is cleaning up the bull crap that y'all left behind. Think about it. Egg prices down, home prices, the border is closed. It's a lot of good things that happened since President Trump then became president. And they know it. But yet, every time something go wrong, it's Donald Trump's fault. Listen to Hakeem Jefferies.
Daily outrage, the flooding the zone, the parade of horribles that Donald Trump and his minions in Congress have unleashed on the American people. This is unprecedented. And it is, of course, unsettling because it's all un-American. And I think what we'll continue to do as Democrats is to show...
Hakeem Jefferies is a clown. That man asked him about the Democrats' polling numbers down, and that man went to talking about it's Donald Trump's fault. So let's check this out by Matt Morse. And like I said, he said Hakeem Jefferies just made a big mistake. Let's check this out.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, right now, Democratic House Minority Speaker Hakeem Jefferies might be looking at some jail time here pretty soon because, as it would turn out, he just committed a serious federal crime. Now, as you all know, for the last couple of months, President Trump's ICE agents have been scouring the country looking for illegal aliens that they can apprehend, detain, and deport. That being said, ICE agents have recently become the victims of a drastic rise in violence, with assaults against ICE officers surging by 413% since President Trump stepped back into the White House. On top of that, various radically progressive groups have been actually targeting ICE agents, identifying them, then trying to harass them in their personal lives. Really, what the ICE agents have been forced to deal with lately is absolutely disgusting. And so, because of these ongoing threats and safety concerns, ICE agents across the country have begun wearing masks to conceal their identities, just to avoid harassment from all of the far-left radical progressives. But you see, various senior-ranking Democrats aren't happy about this development, to say the least. They actually want our ICE agents to get harassed and to have their lives ruined, because they pose a threat to the Democrats' beloved illegal aliens.
Wow.
In fact, if you don't believe me, take a look at what Democratic Boston Mayor Michelle Wu recently had to say about all of this. Let it play.
I don't know of any police department that routinely wears masks. We know that there are other groups that routinely wear masks. NSC 131 routinely wears masks.
Mayor, just to clarify, are you comparing ICE, you said, to NSC 131, the neo-Nazi group? Are you comparing them to a neo-Nazi group?
What I said is that Boston Police and no police department that I know of at the local level routinely wears masks.
So, folks.
So what's wrong with them wearing masks? They can wear a mask all they want to. That's the problem with these Democrats now. All of a sudden it's a problem because they wearing a mask. Because you got to think about it. Look at the crap that's going on. Look what y'all Democrats been doing. Why would they not wear masks? So when they not on the job and they with their family, they don't want nobody to know who they is. So of course they gonna have their shades on, have their mask on, so can't nobody see who they is. Why wouldn't they do that? These people is insane.
Folks, that was a senior-ranking Democratic politician directly comparing a bunch of ICE agents just doing their job to a bunch of neo-Nazis.
That's crazy.
With rhetoric like that, it's no wonder that ICE agents have been getting attacked and assaulted all across the country. But check this out. What Hakeem Jefferies had to say about all of this was perhaps even worse. But before we play that, I do want to say real quick that if you guys enjoy the daily news updates, please consider subscribing to the channel because it really does help a ton.
Yep.
But okay, take a look at this.
Every single ICE agent who's engaged in this aggressive overreach and are trying to hide their identities from the American people will be unsuccessful in doing that. This is America. This is not the Soviet Union. We're not behind the Iron Curtain. This is not the 1930s. And every single one of them, no matter what it takes, no matter how long it takes, will of course be identified. That in fact is the law.
So folks, that was one of the highest ranking Democratic politicians in the nation calling for the direct public identification of every single ICE agent in the country. Now, unfortunately for House Minority Speaker Hakeem Jefferies, what he just said has landed him in some major trouble. Every single ICE agent who is engaged in this aggressive overreach and are trying to hide their identities from the American people will be unsuccessful in doing that, no matter what it takes, no matter...
See, that's the problem. The American people just want these illegal aliens out of here. They ain't worried about who it is that's getting the illegal aliens. As long as they getting the illegal aliens out of here, that's what the American people voted for. So this is just the crap Hakeem Jefferies and the Democrats are trying to pull. Now you want these people to be identified so they can be threatened and harmed and their family be harmed. They go to show you y'all don't care about the American people at all. Y'all really don't. Y'all just full of frauds.
For how long it takes, they will, of course, be identified. Folks, as a little bit of a reminder here, obstructing or impeding the work of federal officers is a serious federal crime which carries up to a 5-year prison sentence. But you know what? Take a look at why all of this is really such a big deal. Let it play.
DHS says that attacks against ICE agents are up 413%. And we just heard from the acting ICE director, Todd Lyons, on why these agents are now wearing masks in some of these operations. Listen here.
We ran an operation where ICE officers were doxxed. So let's just say that again. People are out there taking photos of the names, their faces, and posting them online with death threats to their family and themselves. So I'm sorry if people are offended by them wearing masks, but I'm not going to let my officers and agents go out there and put their lives on the line and their family on the line.
I know that, Tom Homan has talked in the past about having to pay a private security detail to defend himself as, he was getting death threats. But these rank and file agents don't have those kinds of resources. What do you make of the House Minority Leader's comments about naming anyone that they think has acted inappropriately?
I think it's the height of irresponsibility for the leader to engage in such a behavior. I mean, the simple fact is that these are men and women who are doing their jobs.
Exactly.
Their jobs is they signed up for, that they agreed to take on risk associated with it. These are very hard jobs. They're threatening enough elements of this as it is when it comes to arresting so many of these individuals who are here illegally and who have engaged in all manner of criminal acts or accused of such. And so when they go and they actually arrest them,
and then they see that's the reason why they wearing masks, because the death threats and people posting their pictures, and Hakeem Jefferies them acting like they don't know that. That's the reason why now that they are wearing masks, so they can hide their identity, so their family and stuff don't be threatened. But Hakeem Jefferies was saying the same sentence, "Oh, we care about the American people." No, y'all don't. Y'all care about illegal aliens. You only worried about, these guys been trying to identify them is because they're getting rid of illegal aliens. They're not getting rid of American people. They're getting rid of illegal aliens who don't supposed to be here.
Doing the thing that they're supposed to be doing and they're paid to do by the American people. When he says that he's going to dox these agents, he puts a target on every one of their backs. And engaging in that kind of behavior should be unacceptable no matter the administration. I don't care if it's Democrat or Republican. We shouldn't be engaged in this type of behavior when it comes to agents who are just trying to do their job, enforce the law, and bring these criminals to justice.
And so, folks, that's just the truth. These ICE agents are just trying to do their job, which is protect American citizens from illegal aliens, and the Democrats right now are trying to undermine that.
Exactly.
The truth is, by threatening to unmask and publicly identify all of these ICE agents, and by comparing them to neo-Nazis, the Democrats are directly inciting violence, and it's obvious that that's what they're doing, because ICE agents across the country have been getting assaulted and attacked at increasingly higher rates. And once again, the reason why all of this is happening is because of the Democrats' violent and dangerous rhetoric. They're putting people's lives at risk, and
they
that's
don't
just
care.
the truth. But so, folks, as it would turn out, the acting ICE director is done playing around. In fact, just the other day, he had this to say. Let it play.
Here's what I have to say to Boston Mayor Michelle Wu, Congressman Hakeem Jefferies, and anyone else stirring up the outrage about what ICE does. My officers and agents walk into danger so other people can sleep safely at night, so kids can make it to school safely and play outside. So while it's easy to be an armchair quarterback and make up talking points that get activists riled up, the bottom line is my officers and agents are out there protecting the same people who are threatening their safety. Law enforcement's common sense. Politicians need to stop putting my people in danger. I'm not asking them to stop. I'm demanding that they stop.
Wow.
So you hear that, ladies and gentlemen? The gloves are coming off. No more Mr. Nice Guy. Now he's not asking, he is demanding. And so between you and me, if the left's dangerous rhetoric doesn't come to an end, I'd expect to see some criminal investigations here. We already know that AOC and Ilhan Omar are currently being investigated, but folks, I'll tell you what, I'm with you guys. I think we need to start seeing some arrests.
That's what I'm saying. I've been saying that for the longest, that we need to see some arrests. You need to get an AOC Jasmine Crockett. Show them that y'all ain't playing. This is what I want Pam Bundy to do. Arrest these people, because like I said, the more they feel like they can get away with these talking points and talking about they're going to do this to officers and nothing get done, they're going to continue to do this. That's why I said we need to start making some arrests so they can stop this crap. So now you got Hakeem Jefferies running his mouth about what he's going to do. This is insane.
These far-left radical progressives that have been actively working to subvert and undermine President Trump's America First agenda need to be held accountable. We need to start seeing some prison sentences. Because, folks, as I like to say, that is what it's going to take to really start putting America first. Now, ladies and gentlemen, before we
salute to Matt Morse. Like I said, make sure y'all go subscribe to his channel, Matt Morse TV on YouTube. Let him know that The Real Adogg sent you. But I definitely had to bring y'all this. Hakeem Jefferies is done. I just hope Pam Bundy them do something about this so this crap can stop. And like I said, thank you all for watching, especially the ones that made it to the end. And I'll catch y'all in the next one.